Big match between Costa Rica and Haiti in the first quarterfinal, which Costa Rica won in extra time. They see now if Martinique can continue this run against a Canadian side whose confidence may be rattled a bit after they really fell apart late, and Ecuador and Alex Aguinaga scoring 2 goals in the dying minutes, which meant it was a 3-way tie in their group with Canada, Haiti, and Ecuador. That, of course, Group D. But, as has been the case in the last edition, where Canada won a coin flip with Republic of Korea to advance to the quarterfinals, which they would eventually use parlay into a championship, their name was drawn out first, which not only means they advance to the quarterfinals, but they advance as the top team in Group D. Offside on the far side against Jim Brennan. Carlos Batres, one of the most respected referees in the region, is the #1 today. We'll see how Martinique approach things here. I'm sure very cautiously, making sure that at all times the defense is reinforced. Throw in on the far side by Boulet. One cut out in the back by DeVos. They've met once before, and it was in the Gold Cup back in '93. The only other time Martinique have participated in this competition. It ended up 2-2 on the day. Back then, the Canadian goals scored by Onger and Burnbury. 2 second-half goals by Martinique, scored by Gertrude and Fondelot. Names that have come and gone in Gold Cup history, legend, and lore. As there's a man down for Martinique. I believe a bad step there by Midans, and he may have twisted his ankle. Watch how he lands. Oh. As you can expect, a country like Martinique, they're not very deep. So injuries and suspensions, if they arise, would probably mean doom for the runner-ups in Pool C. Look at this while they tend on Miran. Canada getting their touches in. Canada, who beat Mexico in the quarterfinals last time out, and Ludovic Midand, you can see his face for a second, does not look good. And I tell you, when they take the shoe off, if it's an ankle problem, it usually means their day is done. You take that shoe off, it begins to swell. And, well, what a terrible start for Martinique, perhaps. We'll see if Milan can continue as Canada hand the ball back over to the team from the Lesser Antilles, the Breezy Islands, as it is called. Near side to Dicaneux, now to Repenay. DeVos. Staltieri. Canada opened their ledger here with a 2-0 victory over Haiti. Both goals scored by Kevin McKenna. McKenna making a name for himself early on, one of the leading scorers in the tournament. Right in, it's through the goal mouth. Terrible mistake by Herli. He gets off the hook, though, as unable to pounce on it was Zauza. Back in by Staltieri. Canada really hunting hard now. They still keep it here in the defensive end of Martinique. And a free kick for Martinique. The foul, apparently on Jim Brennan. Look at this. Oh, the hesitation at the end by, I believe, Imhoff. And that was that. Easily could have been 1-0. Should have been 1-0. Canada, the way they approach this all business here in this Gold Cup, they say they must feel it is theirs to lose. And so far, except for those few minutes against Ecuador, the last 5 minutes of the match, they have been pretty solid. Curly backup goalkeeper at Troyes in the French First Division. Doesn't see much action there. McKenna was the initial target, and it was overrun by Jauza. This Canadian side, although many of the players play in lower divisions in Europe, you have guys who play in England, in Scotland, some people in Brazil, Germany, you name it. And they have the experience to make some inroads in this tournament and perhaps win it all over again. It looks like Miranda is back out there, so all is well. Even has some experience that Daniel Imhoff brings to the club. He plays in Switzerland with St. Gallen. Lifted into the midfield, brought down by Rano. Still with it, goes to the far side. Waiting for that one is Boulet. Carlos Batres will give Martinique another free kick. Here's Pesson, who is captaining the Martinique side. He was out of play. I tell you, Pascal Pesson making a great name for himself in a couple matches. He plays for Club Francisca in Martinique, just 25. Scored the game winner against TNT and played exceptionally well in the loss at the hands of the Costa Ricans. Menezes. Now Jason Bent. His passage blocked by Lavral. There's nothing really glamorous about the Canadian approach, but it's very effective. And ball intercepted in the back by Dicano. Now Persson. Lavral. And advantage played briefly. The foul from behind on McKenna. Just there, little leg sweep on Lavral. Kevin McKenna, who's in the books for Heart of Midlothian, Hearts, as they're affectionately known in Scotland. He's in the books as a defender, but he's made quite an impact as a forward here. McKenna's done some interesting travels in his days as a professional. Spent 3 seasons with Energy Cottbus. He was the first Canadian in the Bundesliga. To DeVos, who lifts it up onside. The ball out of play in front of Jauza. Legrand. Brennan into the midfield. There to win it is Boulet. Persson pushes it forward. Something developing here from Martinique. The cross comes in, deflected. Corner kick. That ball played in by Rano. And a chance now for Lars Hirschfeld to save his team here in the event it gets a bit sticky. Pascal Persson. They go short with it. Cross in. Rogers. Right back through. Save Hirschfeld. First save of the match. Watch it again. It came from about 20, 25 yards out off the foot of Repernay. Levrand cuts it back. Levrand's also played very well in this tournament. Dicano. And that was a bit aggressive from behind on Imhoff. Bent. A poor ball from him, intercepted in the back of the midfield. Maevaton. Dicano. Looking for Persson. Actually, that's Xavier Boulay. Repernay. Retreating to win it back was Staltieri, who's on the books at Werder Bremen. Not bad. Does get some appearances from time to time. Dicano. Really perhaps the biggest day in Martinique footballing history. As they take on the Canadians with hopes of advancing to the semi-final. Already some surprises in the Gold Cup. The fact that Ecuador will advance no further. And a bit of a surprise as well is that Guatemala were knocked out so early. They look like they brought a very good team. Whereas a lot of these sides without some of their key components because they're busy in Europe. The timing of the tournament's a bit odd. Canada, for instance, without Tomasz Radzinski, star forward at Everton. Nice little touch and almost through. DeVos gets there in the nick of time. Throw in for Canada. Besson. An ugly tackle indeed from Dicano. Dicano is a guy that Martinique looked for leadership in the back. He's was actually in the books at one point for Olympique Marseille in France. Now plays at Racing Club de Paris. Paris. But he's been so-so in this tournament. It's been the skill guys up front that have impressed me mostly. His ball played in and Hurley going to his right. That ball on line from Staltieri, I believe. Repernay. Watch that, a very late reaction, but good enough. Persson. It was in fact Jauza who played it for Canada. DeVos. Brennan. Near side ball for Daniel Imhoff. I tell you, Jason Benton has been tying his shoelaces for a good 30 seconds now. Down by Lina. Brennan. Canada with a couple good chances early on. We played a quarter of an hour. Deflects into the hands of Eddie Hurley. You take a look at 24-year-old Richard Hastings. 24-year-old from Ross County Football Club in Scotland. Of course, Hastings, the man who scored the golden goal through the Mexican defense in the quarterfinals of the 2000 Gold Cup. Brennan, the cross, McKenna was there. Martinique trying to clear it. They finally do with Boulay. Imhoff. Eddie Hurley tested again, but coming through with flying colors. At the other end, it's Lars Hirschfeld. Against former French internationals like Patrice Loco, and playing against and watching play internationals from several different nations cannot hurt his development whatsoever. Hurley now just 24 in his second season with Troyes since he's moved from La Union du Lamentin. Oh boy, I hope I said that right. Rogers, and out of play directly. Martinique throw it. LeBron. And wincing a bit is DeVos, the captain of Canada. They absolutely need him. He's imperative. So imposing in the back. Big, powerful figure for Canada, which means nothing comes cheaply for opponents. DeVos, who plays for Wigan Athletic in England. That, of course, is rugby league country. Wigan. Quickly, some things of interest here regarding our match. A couple suspended players. Canada without Nick Dazovic. Picked up a yellow against Haiti, picked up another yellow against Ecuador. 2 yellows and you miss a game. Marcel Guibon, sent off in the Trinidad Tobago match for Martinique, is also unavailable, and he's someone they're going to miss because he really had that midfield working, especially in the match against Costa Rica. The following players get yellows for Canada. They will miss the next match if they advance. Rogers, DeVos, and Imhoff. Same could be said for Jude Vaton. There he is, number 4 for Martinique. He will miss the next game if he gets another yellow. Really a matchup here that just shows the diversity in the Football Confederation. Cold, massive Canada all the way in the north, and in balmy Caribbean Martinique. One that speaks French, the other that speak a mixture of English, and then of course for the Quebecois, they do speak French as well in Canada. Actually, the nations that have a French-speaking element have done pretty well. These two and Haiti, who speak Creole. The run from deep in his own end by Rano. Great move to get around Menzies. Tell you, time to time, you look at this Martinique squad, and the skill surprises you sometimes. There's more than one guy that can get in there, and they are fearless. Just out of the reach of Persson. Lars Hirschfeld, the goalkeeper, 23 from the Calgary Storm. Bent. Plays it near side. He's onside, Jauza, but he can't catch up with that one. Davide Jauza, who is currently with Livingston, who are, I think, 3rd place in the Scottish division. Granted, some 25 or 30 points behind first place Celtic. Joined Livingston from Inverness, Caledonian Thistle. A good young Canadian side that hopefully we'll hear more from. Canada, of course, not going to the World Cup. They haven't been to a World Cup since 1986, where they were in Mexico, of course, and were the whipping boys for their group that featured Michel Platini and France, amongst others. Imhoff brings it back. Cleared away off the line by Midand. Ball sneaks through from Dicano. After what happened in 2000, many expect Canada maybe to slip in there for this World Cup, but they didn't even get to the final 6. As they lost to Mexico and Trinidad and Tobago in that group. And also a little slip up against Panama, which saw Canada fall out much earlier than they ever anticipated. Holger Osiek, head coach of Canada, who didn't really have to remind his players too much about overlooking Martinique because Canada were in the same position 2 years ago. And it's strange that it's the reverse here today. A couple of years can certainly make a lot of difference. There you saw quickly Théodore Antonin, head coach of Martinique. Feli. Menezes. Taltieri. Brennan now. Little shove against Repernay. Free kick for Martinique. Out of the reach of Pascalina. These two teams seemingly a far way from home here in the Orange Bowl. It was filled to the rafters earlier with Haiti and Costa Rica. Some of those fans have stayed around to get a little more bang for the buck. Haiti, of course, a huge contingent of Haitians in Miami, and I tell you, little Haiti, just down the road from the Orange Bowl. A little slice of Haiti right there in Miami. Touched away by DeVos in the back, but Martinique, bit by bit, step by step, get ever so closer. Legrand. High cross coming in. Boulay is in. Boulay! Whoa! Hello! Xavier Boulay could not believe his luck. 22-year-old. And you can see if he only kept his feet, Hirschfeld made a mess of it. Oh, unkind pitch for Martinique. Cross from Staltieri, now Rogers. Back to Hirschfeld. A foul against Lavrent. Watch this again. Boulay made contact with the ball. That could have been a moment for Boulay to save it for the rest of his life. Instead, his legs fail him. Offside against number 11, Jim Brennan. Cut out in the midfield by Hastings. Then Imhoff, McKenna. Free kick, Canada. Staltieri to take it. Staltieri possesses great skills. Maybe perhaps a premier player or two or three that Canada has to offer. Carly, in particular the ones that are here. McKenna almost breakdancing there. Eddie Hurley, you know, he's a solid keeper, a bit unorthodox from time to time. But brave. Going head up with big Kevin McKenna. That ball comes across. Manzi. Bent. Back it comes from Jauza. Rogers. Back again, DeVos. We'll check it, Brennan. His ball lifted in, cleared away by Legrand. A little bit behind Rano, who's trying to lift it over. Rano going into his bag of tricks a couple times and showing that he has perhaps what it takes. I got a bit thrown out when I was reading the bios on the players, and Rano, along with Laurent Habricot and a couple other players like Jean-Marie Aguitin, and Boulay for that matter, who's out there, play for New Club, and I thought that meant that he wasn't playing for someone, but apparently there is a club in Martinique called New Club. So he does have work. Gully. Truth behold, this match has the potential of, at times, perhaps being really dreary. Both these teams, Canada, because it's the way they play, where they're very organized, they take what they can find from time to time. And Martinique, perhaps playing a bit in fear, both will be very defensive oriented. Martinique, we've seen take a couple chances here. Canada, after a quick start, have faded in the offensive categories. We'll see if they can awaken. They did spend the whole match against Ecuador trying to kill off the time, knowing full well that a 0-0 tie would have meant they would have finished top of the group. Even a 1-0 loss would have meant the same thing. However, they did fade down the stretch, so we'll see how the offensive players react after not having to been used all that often. Limited duty and playing more as defenders. So that ball won in the back by Boulay. Vaton. Here's Rano. In front of him, Rogers. Only the second Gold Cup appearance for Martinique. In '93, they were on the receiving end of the worst loss ever in Gold Cup history. 9-0 to Mexico. Now they have 5 appearances. This is 6. And they have their first ever win against a Trinidad and Tobago side that are probably heading back home with their tail firmly between their legs. Hard to put your finger on Trinidad and Tobago. One day they look like they could be the best team, and this is a serious comment. They look like they could be the best team in the Federation. Another time, you lose to Martinique. A bit puzzling. We played half an hour 0-0 here at the Orange Bowl. That one almost set up for McKenna. He plays it across. Looking for Jauza. Corner kick, Canada. Brennan to take. It's good wood on it, but over the head of everyone. Lavran looking for the counterattack. Could not escape in time. Imhoff brought down. And Staltieri will resume control here. Staltieri, a bit beyond the far post, redirected back in, but Heli has it. Well, Canada will be happy to take these free kicks eventually with the aerial ability of some of the forwards, in particular McKenna, and then the free kick specialty of Staltieri. That could certainly bid farewell to Martinique if they connect. Here's Staltieri. He's playing more of a role in that midfield. Now Bent bends that ball over. Pascal Linac. DeVos puts that one towards the 18, right in the midfield. One right back by Martinique. This is Repernay. Throw in for Martinique. Played in, I believe it's an offside on Renault. Either way, taken by Lars Hirschfeld. Bent draws in the defender that is Boulay. Now quickly it comes across to Menezes. McKenna, a bit early on the jump. Imhoff, that cross looks true. And it was, but Davide Jauza has some difficulties in these early minutes. Doesn't really look like he's into the flow of things just yet. Watch this cross by Imhoff. And Jauza unmarked. Granted, his view obstructed a bit by the retreating Repernay. That ball blocked. Now it comes upwards to Rano, who was stepped on a bit there by Staltieri. Comes back out to DeVos. Into the area. Brennan. McKenna makes his run across over everyone's head and out of play. Both McKenna and Jauza trying to make themselves visible. Jauza, who plays, again, as we said earlier, for Livingston. Scored 10 goals last season in the First Division of Scotland, not the Premier League. The SPL. Dicano. Brennan. That one strikes a teammate in the back. Throw in, though, for Canada. And now throw in for Martinique. As the match has gone to almost a crawl here. A lot on the line here for both teams. Canada, this is their World Cup, as it is for Martinique. bent, got a bit cute, loses the ball. Now, when the counterattack comes Martinique. That's a great ball from Renaud. He separates. Renaud. Oh, Hirschfeld. And Renaud got that ball caught in his Stokes again. From time to time, Martinique with some golden opportunities that they just can't convert. He was quicker than everybody back. Look at DeVos get left in his dust just before he was about to get some lift on that ball. This happens. His shot ends up wide of the far post. Good time played in by Richard Hastings. Well, as we see Lars Hirschfeld make saves, we do have to mention Craig Forrest, the 2000 Gold Cup MVP, who's recovering from surgery for testicular cancer, which he went through back in October. We certainly wish Craig all the best and hope to see him in future Gold Cups, and once again manning the goal for West Ham United in the English Premier League. Until now, he played in every Gold Cup for Canada, and that is 4. Jean-Victor Lavrent, he's been very quiet here today, but he has the potential of being a difference maker. Imagine what Theodore Antonin would go through if his team reached the semifinals of the Gold Cup. It's breaking down that the 3 World Cup teams, and of course this is very presumptuous, but the 3 World Cup teams from the Football Confederation will be there along with either Canada or Martinique. Costa Rica already through. Mexico play Korea. And the United States should get by El Salvador. Mirand. Repernay. Renaud. Look how smoothly he turns there. Trying to lose the mark of Rogers. He has, but the ball across the midfield picked off there. Lavrent. The 1-2. Lavrent! Hirschfeld. A 3rd time now, Martinique in their happy hunting ground. Nice stop there, and the right idea. He splits the center backs. Seen very little of Persson. Let's see if he can get some action here. That ball played across. No whistle. Lina. Free kick Martinique. There was Mirand, who opened the match with a nasty fall on his ankle, but he's obviously back to full health. Martinique have had some difficulties with free kicks, although they did score the goal against Trinidad and Tobago from one in a awkward delivery that worked like a charm. Let's see if Persson takes it again. It will be Repernay. Also there is Dicano. And Dicano's like waving off everyone, it appears, to take it himself. The left footer is Repernay, and Dicano there lining up as the right footer. It's Repernay into the wall. Now plays it across. Onside Persson. Handball protest not given. We're at the 40th minute. Martinique heating things up a bit here. Persson very prompt with the cross. Renaud misses the contact. And then knocked out of there by Hastings. The winner of this matchup, keep in mind, will play the winner of the United States-El Salvador match. Played into Rogers. Rogers to Saltieri. Throwing for Martinique despite the efforts of McKenna to keep it alive. Vaton lays it up. Now Canada with it. It was Imhoff who couldn't find Kevin McKenna. Carlos Batra is refusing to give the hand to Person there. I just think he got the things mixed up. I think Person wanted a hand to help up, but Badras thought he was complaining about the decision. No big reserves for Canada if needed for further. Not reserves here, but in that reserve roster that may see action as the Canadians advance. One in particular, Paul Pesky-Solido, one of the most capped players in Canadian history. The wall put up for Martinique. Some tall players there. It's going to make things a little more difficult for Canada to see beyond. Ball set up for Brennan, whose shot is covered by Herli. It was a low driving ball. Nothing happening for Brennan, but Brennan's had a nice half, hasn't he? He's made the left side available for Canada. He's got that going. He's taken a couple good free kicks. Brennan, who's on the books at Nottingham Forest, was with Bristol City before that on the English-Welsh border. Regular in the Canadian lineup on the international level. Good velocity on it. Herli playing some of his best goalkeeping. That one played up by Menezes. Jauza colliding in the back. Has committed the foul. We're into the final minute of this first half. Scoreless here in the Orange Bowl, which is going to make that second half, the tension in it, even thicker. Canada win it back. This is Bent. Canada breaking upward. Leading the way is Hastings. Full head of steam. The cross. Poorly delivered. It was over the head of Jauza. And that one out of the reach of Rano. Rogers. Menzies. Bent. Just 1 minute of stoppage time. There is fourth official, Roberto Moreno of Panama.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time will be kept on the field by the referee.
In the back, Menezes. Aid from Brennan. Now Staltieri. It's a good ball to the near side for Rogers. Rogers now just in his own half. lifts it up for McKenna. The ball heading in the wrong direction, but Herli will get underneath it. Just in front of Jauza. We're into stoppage time. Can't be much time left, and there was only a second or two. Carlos Batres of Guatemala whistles it dead there. Agatin will play up alongside Pascal Persson in the top. We're underway in the second half. Martinique looking for their greatest moment in their footballing history, which actually probably occurred only a few days ago when they beat Trinidad and Tobago here in the Gold Cup to advance to the quarters. Lavron. There is number 19, Rodolphe Rano. I tell you, at times Rano looks absolutely, as Andrew Gray would say, top drawer. Rano, who came on at halftime in the win against Trinidad and Tobago. Free kick for Canada. McKenna's brought down. McKenna, the defender, moving up front with both of Canada's goals in the tournament so far. Canada again will get through with very few goals. I don't think they need many here today. One should do it. DeVos. Free kick, Martinique. Now Eddie Herli. Reminding everyone to stay rather organized in this one. A long driving punt. Airborne of Tony Menzies. Martinique trying to keep it in there. Now knocked away by Bent. Lavral. In the midfield, it's Brennan. Canada trying to march forward here. Poor touch. Bent. But to no one in particular. That ball slides on through. Some good touches by Martinique. They've started this second half on the right foot. Rano, the cross, tempting, but there is DeVos. Brought down by Agatin. Persat, not on the same wavelength as his teammates. Cleared upfield by Hastings. Back goes Vaton. And now Khali. You can see things getting a little more important. Some harder challenges. Players becoming more uncompromising. Imhoff blocks the passage of Dicano. Martinique with it, though. They've had their fair share of possession. They've really been Canada's equal here. Really small nations all over the world making an impact in the world of football. How about nations like Ecuador, only about 12 million, 13 million. And Slovenia, 3 million people making the World Cup field. And that ball played through and getting through from Bent. Persson, not his usual chipper self today. They need something from him up there. If he can awaken for a second, Martinique might be able to find that goal. Here he is. Now Lavral lost it right up the guts, and with some momentum is Canada. McKenna couldn't control it. Played back by Legrand to Khali. DeVos. Brennan. Slides it in there. And a foul that will favor Martinique. The dirty look from Ludovic Miranda. see just the ankles getting tangled up there. Allows Eddie Hurley a chance to clear. One quick note to tell you about the roster of Martinique. They have made a change. And this was in advance of the Trinidad and Tobago match. Defender Frederic Clement was added to the roster, replacing Paul-Henri Cloroux, who suffered an injury. Staltieri just a bit rich for the blood of McKenna. Now coming to win it, Menzies. Brennan. Canada have the freebie. And the first yellow card of the match is to Jude Vaton, which means he will miss the semifinal match if Martinique advance. I'm sure that's the furthest thing from his mind right now. Hastings. Look like handball at a moment, but it's going to be a free kick for Martinique. A little shove in the back. And he wants heads to be cooled. As DeVos was there, it was the leg that clipped the ball. Carlos Batres, all business. Theodore Anthony. What a wonderful job he's done. Win or lose here. He has opened some eyes. Staltieri loses it to Lavral. Lavral plays it up for Persson. Doesn't get that far. DeVos. Staltieri pins the ears back. Plays it across. McKenna! Hurley. That was a good effort by McKenna. Had good trajectory to it. Just not high enough. The space on the right side. Stopped by Rogers. Bent. The defender from Plymouth Argyle in England. Played back into Hurley. Clash there, and this will favor Canada, as getting there a tad a bit late was Laurent Legrand, and down on the deck and wincing in pain is Tony Menzies. Meanwhile, Canada will make a substitution. It is going to be for Menzies. Menzies, who plays in Brazil for Botafogo. And coming in for him is someone that here in the United States people are familiar with, Dwayne De Rosario, who was with the MLS champion San Jose Earthquakes. He is a forward, so Holger Osiek, in addition to having to make a substitution due to injury, and start hunting for that goal.
Coming in, number 17, Dwayne De Rosario. He replaces number 4, Tony Menezes.
Tony Menezes coming out. Dwayne De Rosario, 23 years of age. He, in fact, scored the golden goal for the San Jose Earthquakes to lead to their MLS title in 2001. Come up through the Canadian youth system, played for the under-20s and the under-23s. Free kick right in front. Big moment here. Five-man wall for Martinique. Brennan and DeVos. Also there is Jauza, who is probably due for something here. They're going to set it up for him. Jauza hits the wall. For a moment, Bent had a look at it, but it was eventually cleared away by Dicano. Imhoff slips in there. Last touch by Bent. Goal kick for Martinique, so they avoid any entanglements there. This ball lifted high. Look at McKenna back there doing some defending now. And I can tell you that's exactly what's just happened. Di Rosario's moved up front. McKenna has filled the vacancy left by Tony Menezes. And the ball played wide. Persson has a beat on it. McKenna defending him. The cross stopped by DeVos. Not such a good touch that time by Pascalina. Free kick, Canada. Everyone moves up, with the exception of this man, DeVos. Skying for Jauza. Played wide to Brennan. Brennan, McKenna. McKenna, who picked up his second and third international goal ever in that match against Haiti. Foul against Canada as Laurent Legrand was brought down. Legrand plays for Lagnlo. Let me try that one again. Liaglion. Can play anywhere across the back line. Staltieri looking for Di Rosario. It skips away and into the waiting hands of Eddie Kheli. A little bit better in the second half. Some more movement from both sides. Persson by himself, not much he could do there. McKenna evades him. There is the poor tackle by Persson. You can hear Holger Osiek trying to get the yellow card. We've only had one. Oddly enough for Martinique, it went to the one guy they had that was going to miss the next match with a yellow, Jude Vaton. Played up, Di Rosario. Made quite a career for himself. Again, Canadian players popping up all over the place, not just in England anymore. He was impressed by the amount of players playing in Scotland. Now even the United States, and certainly the Canadian players, in their best interest to make some inroads towards the MLS. Maybe there's a consideration in the MLS, even though they just got rid of two teams, that if there's a strong enough market, they could introduce a franchise in Canada. That play across by Brennan. Knocked out. Here comes Hastings. Onside? No. Di Rosario And we avoid what could have been an ugly situation there as Di Rosario and Mirand rolling around the haystack there. Just slightly offside. And this is the incident. Yeah, a little tug, a little roll over the legs. Eddie Hurley, who is sporting a, shall we say, cornrow mullet. DeVos. Rogers. Rogers a second time, lifts it in. The midfield is no man's land right now for both sides. It goes from the defense to the attackers. And Laval is, oh, red card. When you see him reaching for his back pocket. Now Laval is trying to prevent getting a yellow card, and all of a sudden it's red. Well, Carlos Batres had a real good look at it. And it was an ugly foul. Without a doubt, it deserved a yellow. A red, you know, in a match that's 90 minutes, it's a heavy price to pay for one play. It was a dreadful challenge. But that's the way it goes. And I want to argue it a little more, but I really can't because of the nastiness of it. But still, one little indiscretion, and now Martinique are down to 10 men. But they were down to 10 men before. And what happened? Victory over TNT. Can it happen again? I will tell you, Daniel Imhoff is okay and back on his feet. Canada been thrown an opportunity. Staltieri. And Jim Brennan could not get around it. Only 2 cards in the match. How odd. It was such a friendly affair. Such a good-spirited international. And no cards at halftime. And now we have a yellow and a red for Martinique. Rano, he turns the corner on McKenna. Rano gets those legs churning. The cross. Goal! Goal! Martinique! It will be called an own goal, but what an effort by Rano. Separates himself. 10-man Martinique have done it again. Incredible. It was Mark Rogers with the ill-advised touch. And business has picked up for real at the Orange Bowl. There are some neighborhoods in Miami that have more people than Martinique has as an entire nation. And they are very close to beating a country that has the biggest landmass in the world. Go figure. A long way to go, and Canada have a man advantage. Hastings. Is this the answer? No. Free kick, Martinique. Let's see how they are protecting a lead. They scored the goal against Trinidad and Tobago with 10 men in minute 51. The expulsion, though, did not occur until minute 85. So look at the reaction. Everyone was afraid to approach it for Martinique. They had their hands in the air just hoping that they would get the bounce. They didn't get the bounces in the first half. They've got one now. Rano. What a nuisance he has been for Canada. Persson. This could be the biggest story in Gold Cup history if Martinique can hang on here, regardless of how much further they go. Brennan. McKenna. Canada do not play well when they're trailing. Curlee from behind Di Rosario. A risky play, but effective. Person, they look for the counterattack now. Person trying to do what Rano just did. Wisely pulls it back. There's space there in the midfield. And there was Agatin. And a free kick. Another look at the moment. You got the feeling if there was going to be a goal, it was going to be something unsightly, and it was. At least the goal was. Nothing unsightly about what Rano did on the right flank. That was gorgeous. Played through. Quickly off his line, Lars Hirschfeld, who could not be faulted for the goal, but the ball did get by him initially. Hastings. That's a good-looking ball for Di Rosario. Chested down. Di Rosario perseveres. Di Rosario. And a free kick for Canada, and there's some bickering going on in the back for Martinique. What a chance for the Canadians. It's just a corner kick as it was a deflected, my apologies. But what a chance for the Canadians to set things right, if you will, from their perspective. Brennan, too much. Still rolling as Di Rosario tracks it down. Imhoff. Maybe the red card was something that Martinique did on purpose in order to ignite the flame they have shown ever since. I mean, what Martinique is doing now is remarkable. This is like Equatorial Guinea reaching the semifinals of the African Nations Cup. It's like Luxembourg qualifying for the European Championships. Cleared away by Vaton. Brennan. Hastings. Everyone onside. Ball knocked away from Hurley. Minute by minute, a little more urgency, maybe a little more panic. Strikes in the hearts of the Canadians. Try as they may, they didn't want to overlook Martinique, but it must be difficult not to. You don't know much about them. They've only scored one goal in advancing. They've scored another one here, showing that perhaps size does not matter. Bent. Looked like an ugly tackle, then looked like a nice one, and then they had him all over. It turned ugly again. Staltieri brought down. Now Martinique cannot give up too many free kicks. Yeah, it was just ugly by Jean-Marie Agatin. Imhoff. Bent. That one really was poorly delivered from him. Canada heading the wrong direction in the 70th minute. All of a sudden, McKenna back to his attacking role. They could probably afford going with a three-man back line with 10-man Martinique, but that's how they got themselves in trouble in the first place. Di Rosario, nice run. The cross, open goal mouth. And I believe a corner kick for Canada. Not a big man, Di Rosario, but he showed his strength there. Turns out to be a goal kick. Mirand. Rano. So deceptively quick is Rano, but he takes these huge strides. Free kick from Martinique. And Di Rosario, for arguing with Carlos Batres, becomes the first player booked for Canada.
Caution issued for Canada. Number 17, Wayne De Rosario.
That ball pushed wide. Di Cano. Holger Osiek, worst fears coming to fruition now. Martinique, who barely qualified for this competition, have to beat Cuba for third place in the 2001 Copa Caribe. This is a team that has, in their history books, the worst defeat in the history of the Gold Cup. They are not a full FIFA member. You're an associate member of the FC and full member of the CFU. That one played in. Hurley has it. The more you read into it, the more incredible the feat they possibly could achieve here in 20 minutes becomes. Holger Osiek said his team was not going to overlook Martinique. He looked at the tapes and he said they look a very skillful side. He was right. He also brought up he wasn't very happy with the way Canada got through. He couldn't have been happy the way they finished against Ecuador, even though Ecuador are a World Cup team. Letting those 2 goals late with so much on the line, really unforgivable. But they had a reprieve with the luck of the draw. And they're not taking advantage of it just yet. Brennan looks tasty. Goal! Kevin McKenna has all the goals for Canada in the Gold Cup. It's his third. 1-1.
Goal for Canada. 73rd minute by number 20.
Great goal by McKenna, but even better cross by Brennan. Stayed in the air long enough, and from behind, McKenna puts it in, and the happiest man right now on the field has to be Mark Rogers. Considered a wake-up call now. All things level. Canada, with one swift stroke, have what would seem a decisive advantage. DeVos. Poor clearance. A shot! Whoa! Lars Hirschfeld had to have been paying attention. His defenders again letting him down. That off the foot of Jean-Marie Agatine. This team has the skills to pay the bills. Martinique. Here's the Canadian goal. Not even an attempt made by Hurley. It was too close. Not much of a celebration from Canada. The cheer, but that was it. They know they have a lot of work ahead of themselves. They are the team that were favored. Staltieri. Blocked. Still challenged Hurley. Brennan. Gets it caught in his Stokes, unable to control it. Persson fouled by Jauza. Yellow card as well. The second for Canada here.
Caution issued to Canada, number 10, David Souza.
That one lifted up by Persson for Rano. Rano again making his way in. Vaton. Played up ahead, looking for Persson, but well defended there by DeVos. Or I should say, yeah, it was DeVos. Go with your first instincts, lad. Yes. Hastings. A jet on its way to Miami International Airport. And it sounds close. The airport really about 2 miles down the road, down the 836 highway. Corner kick, Canada. Imhoff will take it on the far side, looking for the outswinger. Imhoff, who plays in Swiss football, with only coming into the tournament, only had 6 caps. Rogers and Mirand, a little shove there. Stakes are very high now, so nothing is going to be given easily. Out it comes and cleared away. Bent, oh, almost a huge error. Still might be. Nobody up for Martinique. Now there is, maybe just a bit long. Rano is up. Agatine's cross. Rano tracks it down. Rogers joins him. And it should be a goal kick. It is. Both goals coming in the second half. DeVos. Hastings. Brennan skips away. Back of the 18. The shot just wide off the foot of Saltieri. You see Saltieri just play it in. Early's goal has been breached once. It just happened a few minutes ago. The header off the side of the head of DeVos. Brennan. Rogers. Corner kick. It was actually Imhoff who came up the right side. And Canada now starting to take control a little bit here. 80th minute, looking to go ahead. Cleared away in the back by Agatine. Still Martinique have their chances. Agatine. Gives it a good thump. Couple players there. Picked out by Rano. Touched aside by Hastings. More jerseys in white come up. Agatin. Rano keeps his feet. Marked by Paul Stalteri. Free kick, Martinique. 10 minutes to go in this one in the Orange Bowl. It's 1-1. Martinique struck first on an own goal by Mark Rogers. Canada right back from tournament leading goal scorer Kevin McKenna. From all the way, oh my goodness. You don't get that many chances. It's got to be better, and I don't know why Ludovic Miranda is getting the shot there. The center back rarely takes the free kicks, but he took it that time. Miranda, rugged individual, not really his game with the free kicks. Pascal Lina. Good 1-2. Lina with space. They don't really mark him. He's not the threat. And they know it. And, oh, lost by Persson. Ball played through. Corner kick. Stalteri happy to punch that one away. The alternative could have been much worse. Big moment here in the 83rd minute. Martin looking to go out in front for a second time, and the punch by Hirschfeld. Something was lurking behind him, so he had to make the play. Should be a Martinique throw. There is some confusion regarding the subsequent throw-in, but this is what just happened. Cross comes in. Hirschfeld stays on his line, headed away by Hastings. Then bent. Now Di Rosario. Cuts inside Agatin. Di Rosario locates a receiver, McKenna, but first Gerli. Not a bad ball. A little premature on that one. We could have let the play develop a little more. We'd have seen probably some more opening. Either way, Canada happy to have it. Imhoff. 10-man Martinique. Looking for a game winner now. Who knows if it goes to extra time, if they have the legs. Stalteri. Brennan. Di Rosario, the shot. Had a lot behind it, but too high. '85th minute. That was the latest chance by Di Rosario. No problem for Eddie Gerli. Free kick, though. The cross comes in, easily handled by DeVos. Now, Vaton. Stalteri. Di Rosario offside by a long ways. That ball played up. There's a man there. It's Person, and he is fouled. And look at this. Right up close and snug. Martinique refusing to fade away. Pascal Person has done very little today, especially compared to what he achieved early on. He has a chance now to make up for that in a hurry, but may also be another option here. Repernay there, the left footer. It will be him. In! Deflected! Oh! A sitting chance! A sitting chance for Jean-Marie Agatine, and he blew it! Oh, he's going to be seeing that over and over again in the nightmares in the middle of the night. Wow, he missed it badly. "90 minutes may not be enough." Frederick Clement looks like he's about to see some action. This cross, McKenna! No! No goal! Offside! And McKenna gets booked as well. Oh, it was Di Rosario that was offside. Di Rosario was offside, but it cost Canada. The flag goes up. Di Rosario made an attempt for that ball, so it is offside, even though he did not touch it.
Number 20, Kevin McKenna.
Watch it again. And boy, Di Rosario was barely offside. I don't think he could even call it offside. A bad call.
Substitution for Martinique. Coming in, number 3.
Person comes out.
He replaces number 5, Patrick Person.
Frederick Clement coming in. Hirschfeld. Wow, some fireworks at both ends here in the last couple minutes. Yet we remain 1-1. Both teams with great chances to go ahead. Canada's chance was a blown call. Clement chasing that one, touched away by Hastings. Clement. Brennan couldn't clear it. This cross comes in hard, but DeVos just touches it aside. Zauza. Onside, Di Rosario. Looking for McKenna. Deflected, corner kick, Canada. We're into the final minutes. Mirand is running on empty, perhaps. Or may have just taken a ball downstairs, which is even worse. Quickly, Canada. Oh, that's the stoppage time.
The official time will be up on the field at 3 minutes of stoppage.
Only thing, you. Nine. Reckon. Take it easy, please.
Carlos Buttress in his best English. Take it easy, please. Very polite. High ball lifted in, and there's a foul against Canada. McKenna wedged himself in there. It actually was Mark Rogers. Imhoff. Brennan. Curly, good punch. Rano. They rise to a crescendo here at the orange ball. Rano. Clement. The shot is blocked. Getting there quickly. Here's Lebron. Or I should say Alina. Lebron was the player red carded, of course. Stalteri. Di Rosario dispossessed, but out of play. Canada have the throw in with about 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play with. Imhoff, no one there to receive it. Hastings, not sure he wants to put it. Runs out of options, plays it across. Imhoff. Stalteri. Just over the head of Bent, who was offside, I believe. About 30 seconds to go now. Mirand. Skips by McKenna, who takes a tug at Vaton. Bent, 3 minutes have elapsed. Well, Canada and Martinique, 90 minutes not enough in their quarterfinal matchup. They will go to extra time, 1-0. Now the pressure for Canada. Hirschfeld guessed right, but no way you could stop that. It's as good as you can strike a penalty kick. Still a long way to go, but the tone has been set by Martinique. Eddie Hurley to defend against McKenna. McKenna's shot is in there. It's 1-1. McKenna can do no wrong when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net, can he? Has already got 3 goals and now has successfully struck Canada's first penalty kick. Now Martinique, the emphasis shifts back to them. And it will be Ludovic Clement, or Frederic Clement, my apologies. Lars Hirschfeld just wants to get a piece of this one. He guessed right the first one. He guesses wrong the second time. 2-1 Martinique. Back comes Eddie Hurley, and up comes Jimmy Brennan, the left footer. Not as much pressure on Hurley here. as his teammate has already converted the second kick. But wouldn't it be nice if he could deny them here? What a huge moment. Brennan missed it wide. And the Costa Rican supporters, the Haitian supporters that remain solidly behind the underdog side from Martinique. And the Orange Bowl is hopping, but still some work to do. It is David Dicano, and he's going to take a huge runoff. To make it 3-1. Yes! Just muscled it through Lars Hirschfeld. And now they can taste it. It's close. Confidence is really brimming high right now, but that can be dangerous. Di Rosario. On the exact blade of grass, says Carlos Batres. Eddie Hurley, he knows if he can get a piece of this, it's really solidly behind them. Di Rosario under the arm. 3-2 with 2 kicks to go for both sides. Hirschfeld has been very close one occasion. He's guessed right on another. He's probably due. And the way this is going, 5 penalty kicks probably a little too short for these two. And it's going to be Ludovic Mirand, who struck a couple balls up close very poorly. Great defender, but this is not his forte. You can tell a lot by the face. You can see the nerves on it. There's no hiding it. A huge kick for the nation of Martinique and Ludovic Mirand. Lars Hirschfeld to defend. 4-2! Struck it better than anyone. Now, as you see it go in, if Canada misses here, Martinique are a semi-finalist. What a journey it's been for these players. And a lot of pressure right now for Nsaliwa. At 19, can he handle it? Tam Nsaliwa. Eddie Hurley. Oh, and the youngster keeps it going. 4-3. Now it's in Martinique's hands. If they can make this kick, they will still go through the semifinals. Hirschfeld awaits. And up comes Reponnet. Fabrice Reponnet to send Martinique to the semifinals of the Gold Cup. Reponnet! Oh, no! Not so quick. These players keep trying to top shelf it. Eventually they're going to miss one. It's too hard to do it every time. And on we go. DeVos needs to make this. To pull Canada even. Or Martinique still could go through. So Martinique, by saving that one or missing that first kick, Canada threw themselves in a world of hurt, but they can pull even here. DeVos. Got it, 4-4. How close Martinique were, but this gritty, rugged Canadian side do not fold. Eddie Hurley to take the next attempt. Hirschfeld awaits. Neither keepers made a save. Both misses were straight up misses. This one's in the back of the net. 5-4 Martinique. See if Hirschfeld takes the next one. Two teams with no quit in them. Stalteri, the next taker for Canada. Stalteri got it. It's 5-5 by the fingertips. Eddie Hurley real close. And a lot of pressure now on this man, Pascalina. Here we go. The 7th kick taken by Martinique. And it hits the post! And now, after Martinique have had the advantage for the last 4 kicks, Canada has matters in their hands. He missed it. Jason Bent. Everyone tries to get that extra inch, but you're not going to pull the wool over the eyes of Carlos Batres. Let's be sporting about it, Canada. Their 7th kick to send Canada to the semifinals. They're there! Canada are through! They would not be denied! They got the equalizer late, and they get through on the 7th penalty kick. They will take on the United States.